Om. 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 Babaji. 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 As Yogananda says, whoever utters the great Mahavatar Babaji's name with reverence attracts an instant spiritual blessing. Om. 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 Babaji. 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 You love me. You love me more. You love me. You love me more. You love me. And you love me more. You love me and you love me more. With every breath I breathe in your pure love. With every breath I breathe in your pure love. Your everlasting love. Your everlasting love. With every breath I breathe in your pure love. I live on divine love support. I live on divine love support. Om. 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 Babaji. 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 You love me. You love me more. I love you and I love you more. You love me. You love me more. I love you. I love you more. With every breath I breathe in your pure love. With every breath I breathe in your pure love. Your everlasting love. Your everlasting love. With every breath I breathe in your pure love. I live on divine love, sir. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Good morning, powerful, beautiful, magnificent, all glorious, immortal beings. When Yogananda used to give the opening prayer to use a service or meditation, and he would go through, Heavenly Father, Divine Mother, Friend, Beloved God, Babaji Krishna, Larry Mahashai, he would say Babaji and Krishna as if it was one. And I heard through the grapevine in SRF as a monk that They're one. Of course, we're one with the one as well. Babaji Krishna. And as I mentioned earlier, if you whisper the name of Babaji with reverence, you will attract an instant spiritual blessing. If you whisper Krishna, 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 oh my Christ, oh my Christ, oh my Christ, with reverence, you will attract an instant spiritual blessing. And I might even go as far as to say, oh my soul, oh my soul, oh my soul, help me. And you will attract an instant spiritual blessing. So I want to start because I saw come up on my timeline or the memory part of my Facebook this something that I wrote on Babaji Day some years ago. I want to read it to us this morning to get us started on perhaps the most important, no, not a perhaps, the most important moments of an hour, every one being super, super important, because today we're going to talk about God's true nature. And on your Facebook private page, I put up a kind of a micro shot, beautiful micro shot of a little flower and a little bird. It's all kind of, cosmic looking. And I put a little web with some little flowers starting to bud, all married together in perfect synchronicity and harmony on the thing I sent you as this morning is Tuesday, blah blah blah, right? But there's a quote coming up, whether we'll catch it in today's stream or not. But Emerson even said that God's infinite greatness is just in every particle of creation, And he said, even a little web, a cobweb, a little piece of moss, there he is, the omnipresence of the infinite beloved one. Unbelievable, right? Unbelievable. And Yogananda had a beautiful little poem, and I just give you one of the lines. He says, and it's all about humility. And he said, on a whisper by the brook. So you're walking along and there's a little brook and you make a whisper, Babaji, Babaji, oh my Christ, Krishna, Krishna. However your little heart wants to sing to God and address that one beloved who lives in you as a divine indweller. That's pretty close. That's pretty darn close, isn't it? You can visualize you're going by a little brook right now and you just whisper, Babaji, Babaji, Babaji. And he said, a whisper by the brook, and you make found a beautiful leaf or a flower and you make a little altar, a tiny altar, small. And this is God's voice. This is God's voice kind of talking in this. And he's talking in terms of what I'm saying. This omnipresence is like involved in every detail, every particle of creation, little, medium, large, gigantic, cosmic, whatever, right? So he says, on tiny, whisper by the brook. If you make that whisper by the brook, on tiny altar, small, God is saying, there I have my nook. There I have, wherever today, my friends, you can pause long enough to get into your heart, arouse that devotion, and offer your simple, simple devotional prayer, pure devotion. There, the infinite one. And we're going to rereading stuff that just is beyond, right? And most people go, not for me. Someone said, oftentimes to me, you're just so out there, you're so far ahead of all of us. Man, that's such a cop out, because Yogananda said, never compare yourself with others. It's spiritual suicide. And then if you look at truth is in all of us and in the littlest ways, and never leaves our side, never leaves the inside until we are merged with the Great Spirit, right? And so it's the worst statement to ever make, that if you that if you want to be like somebody, and then you think that, oh well, that person has done this all their life, no wonder they're like that, blah, whatever, right? Don't ever go there. It's the most erroneous thought you could have. Instead, say, a little whisper here, Lord, a little whisper to you there. You have a little nook. Here you are in this little nook of my little prayer. Okay, got it? All right, so this is what I wrote. Let me get my God glasses on, everybody. I'm so glad to see you, Narayan and Lisa and Jim. I can't tell you how brave you are. I can't. This is a day that's just like, somehow I come through sometimes, and I'm, you could see the fire coming out, torching, it's just flames, flamethrower. And it's not just because I have 7 planets in Aries, which is almost impossible for me not to have that fire, right? Because it's times 7. But thank you for taking it like a soul, is what I want to say. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to temper it down one of these days. I am tempering it down, but I think I am. But anyway, it is what it is. I just want to put out how proud I am of all of you for sitting here today, 7 years, every Tuesday morning. It blows my mind completely. And I know that there's just a power, there is blessings galore just sitting here, just saying to God, I want to know the truth. I want to know you. I want to know you. And you just repeat that every time you come here. Little things, little sweet nothings to God. It doesn't matter what you understand about this. You'll be one with God before those who try to understand, right? And get too much in their head about this stuff, right? It's so beautiful. It's so simple. We're going to look at how simple the whole thing is. So I wrote this daily dose of divinity, and this was called Becoming. You are Buddha. I have a little picture of a little Tibetan monk, little boy sitting there, absolutely still in a beautiful position. He's got a little bliss smile on his face. You are Buddha, Christ, and Babaji nature in becoming. This thing I wrote is called Becoming. You are Buddha. You are Christ. You are Babaji nature in becoming. Eckhart Tolle said, you are here to enable the divine purpose of the universe to unfold. That is how important you are. Once you open your heart and you're receptive, and the ego is somehow taking, if you can just keep it just at bay, you will find that God is everywhere in everything. Every flower you see, it's him peeping at you. Every step you make, you're stepping on him. The fresh brass plates, Yogananda said. We'll be stepping on him because he's that omnipresent nature too. It's just so simple and gorgeous, and that is us, everybody. And yet at the same time, we're willing to pay. Lord, if you're that cosmic nature, then I'm going to adore you in that cosmic nature, as I am this little flower and this little butterfly that's in that flower, and every little detail of my life. And in my worst hair days, it's the same. There is no compartments. There is no bad or good days. There's just the awe and the wonder of you, my sweet Lord, right? So let me get this. You are Buddha, Christ, and Babaji nature and becoming. Eckhart Tolle said, you are here to enable the divine purpose of the universe to unfold, I'd like to say, through you. That is how important you are. As each petal of your soul flower unfolds, this morning, another soul path. Remember, we got 1,000-petal lotus in the crown chakra. You got enough to spare every Tuesday morning for the rest of our days. As each petal of your soul flower unfolds, your most beautiful, noble dreams are realized. In that realization comes the full blossoming of your divine nature. Someone told me yesterday that he used to always see these. It's a long time since I saw him. He used to be on Gita in the early years. Beautiful man, beautiful soul. And we were talking just recently. And he said, those daily doses of divinity, man, He said, I swore they were Yogananda's writings, and now I'm listening to this. It's kind of the same, isn't it? Everything's one. And as Yogananda said in a quote that I hope to give you today, he said, I'm not proclaiming to be a teacher, a guru, anything, because I killed Yogananda years ago. I am the spirit. And so that's how we all are going to be. It's not going to be you and me anymore. It's going to be the big we, right? It's going to be us, you know? And as I think it was Rumi who said, who is this you and me when there's just the one beloved, right? Who is this you and who is this me? We are the one beloved. All right. As each petal of your soul flower unfolds, your most beautiful, noble dreams are realized. And that realization comes to full blossoming of your divine nature. Tune in with the holy ones. Free love and blessings are always available to us. Babaji said that whenever anyone utters his name with reverence, they will attract an instant spiritual blessing. I hope your Babaji Day, this is his commemoration day. I don't think I said that yet. It's July 25th. It's a Babaji Day. How special is this, right? So I'm saying in this stream, I hope your Babaji Day is filled with many mantras of Babaji, Babaji, Babaji. The first step of your becoming your Babaji nature, Buddha nature, Christ nature, is learning to love the invisible as you close your mortal eyes to the visible show of the sensory world. Make a note. First step in becoming our Buddha nature, Christ nature, Babaji nature, is to close our eyes to the visible show of the sensory world and learn to love the invisible. Center your consciousness inside your heart. Step 2. Breathe breaths of love with rapt attention. You love me, you love me. You love me, I love you more. Breathe breaths of love with rapt attention. Lovingly coax your attention away from this world, lovingly, and into the divine romance with your beloved. The second step is to surrender in sweetest devotion to the bliss that you are and that everything is. Why would you consider any other concept more important than experiencing the reality of your bliss oneness with spirit? The third step is to fill your heart with gratitude for the amazing grace of your forever bliss oneness. All temptations to buy into the outer dream show of duality must be slain with your sword of wisdom. It's another thing. If you like wisdom, and I know you don't just like wisdom, you love wisdom, and you want to just follow wisdom. You know, it's like, do you have one wise friend in your life, really? One wise mentor kind of person, right? If you have one of those, or maybe it's a grandmother, right? Where you just go to her and she always has that inner knowing, right? Those women, especially grandmothers who really, really love you and all that, and they're old and they just throwing out the wisdom nuggets, right? But you listen to that grandmother, and you've always followed her advice. See, this is the same thing. This wisdom what we're getting, all we got to do is love it and love it and love it and follow it to the best of our ability. That's it. You're the wisest being on the planet, each one of you. I promise you. Please give yourself all the bennies of the doubt now. Promise me. And take a big exhale breath and go, thank you, God. Thank you, Babaji. All temptations to bind the outer dream show of duality must be slain with your sword of wisdom. Contentment in the reality and remembrance. Contentment. Can we finally just accept that whole situation that we're in right now? All of it? From the darkest to the brightest, from the unreal to the real, and all that kind of thing. Contentment in the reality and remembrance of your oneness must remain the constant priority of your mind, heart, will, and soul. The fourth step is to use your willpower, supercharged by your attunement with the force. Even Einstein had those secret letters, and he called the source, the love force. Really, it's all over. Everything is, talk about if we're to be a channel, or the embodiment of the spirit that's within us just shines through. So is every object in this creation. Everything is talking. Everything is alive. Everything is the spirit bliss to the detail, right? Oh my God. So the fourth step is to use your willpower supercharged by your attunement with the love force to torch with the fires of love all ideas, dramas, karma, upsets, and everything else life is going to throw at you. Love must first get processed in your fire center. That's the Arjuna center, Manipur chakra, in order to be alchemized into soul power center, right? Long before your head gets involved in the process. Boom, into the alchemical fire, the Arjuna center, because you are Arjuna. You're the one, you're the ideal disciple. You're the one that's going to fall apart at the end. And really, I've listened to his excuses. Now I'm in the Krishna starting to say, hey, dude, wake up, kind of thing. We are all those phases, okay? So we got to get this Arjuna power and get our life process, whatever it is, into our fire center ASAP before any thought goes into the matter, any kind of emotional reaction happens. That's just me adding. To be alchemized into soul power long before your head gets involved in the process. Then you can use all your freed up focus and life force as soul hero firing power to love this right here and right now. It's a good stream. I've been putting up tons of stuff on my Facebook page, the Tom Kelly Facebook page, and just go there because it's just I ain't gonna keep this heart or this inspiration just hiding, somewhere. I'm gonna put it out. We got to put it out, kids. But that doesn't mean you say anything to anyone. I have a beautiful quote too coming up that talks about it. It was one I posted on Facebook recently, a couple days ago, a week ago, that talks about, everyone's screaming and trying to convince people of the reality and the truth, but really just in secret, a tiny altar small, just a little walk by the brook, and you and God, do that secretly, and those who have ears to hear and eyes to see will find you. That's who we are as soul rebels. Okay. Then you can use all your freed up focus and life forces, soul hero firing power to love this right here and right now. The fifth step in becoming is learning how to receive love's endless blessings coupled with your own ability to bless and love yourself. This is a good daily download. And this guy I was talking to, he said, dude, he's always told me that we're gonna get the daily download of divinity out, the book. And he said he's got this one on this meditation, by this guy that just does 365 meditations. He said that book is gorgeous, but yours is too. The final step is the reframing of everything you are aware of. Yeah, reframing, or getting it into the potbelly stove and just love Arjuna fire, soul power, force to get it out so it's not in your head, right? So the final step is the reframing of everything you are aware of into an outrageous positive highlight. So that's our XPF. Until your brain and mind can be this is a good line, until your brain and mind can be as happy as the immortal soul that dwells within it. And I think, Jimmy Clark, I think you like that one. I just had a feeling you caught that one. Yeah, we got to, reframe everything, become aware of it, and make it an outrageous positive highlight, XPF, until your brain and mind can be as happy as the immortal soul that dwells within it. You will not have too many clues that you are Buddha nature to be adored, worshipped, and awakened. That you are Buddha nature. You will not have too many clues on that. We have to be super alert, super sensitive, not touchy, as Yogananda says. Touchy that it kind of, oh, don't say that, that kind, but sensitive. Only a sensitive heart, sensitive, but yet powerful because it's so tuned in to principle. Never break the universal truth, the principle. You will not have too many clues that you are Buddha nature to be adored, worshiped, and awakened. Celebrate everything. Make everything a celebration. Make it a clue. Make it a clue. That's why you have willpower. Turn darkness into light, fear into love, hatred into compassion, karmic conditioning into self-mastery, and restless meditations into deeper and deeper joyous rendezvous with God. I bow to your becoming. I could go literally all day today and never run out of steam. That's how much each of you inspire me. Chapter 10. At first, when I kind of looked at this one, oh man, this stuff's so heavy. In fact, we're not even going to read one page. I'll let you read it on your own, right? Even I even know. You're listing all these different modifications of himself, God, as the infinite oneness and all that, and all of his hierarchy that runs everything. And they got names. They've the intuitive masters of the East, they found names for all these players in the divine hierarchy. Is that cool? But you don't have to learn them. All you need to know, and I need to know, is the one. It's the one who's the one, where all these differentiations have come from, right? I'm going to read you something here, right in the beginning of this thing. All we need to know is that the one is the one. He's perfectly your divine companion and your divine lover and your soul mate. So to say, from the beginning of time till endlessness. Okay, so this is the infinite manifestations of the unmanifested spirit, much similar to the mystery majestical, right? The transcendental Lord, untouched by desires of his worlds, and then right in the heart of things here, in every detail. And the first little section talks about the unborn and beginningless, beyond form and conception. So I won't even talk about these other little things that are in this chapter 10, because we're going to focus this morning, start to focus on I want you to really feel this, the infinite, the supreme, the one is unborn, the origin, the true original, right? The originless, the originless. There's no origin to it. Always has, always, and always. Can you believe that? And always. That's what's been here before creation, And then I can't even say what's before that and what's before that, because it's just eternity. And what's eternity? We'll find out. The bliss, the joy, the concepts that are impossible for human brains in a human condition, that have bought into the human story and the human drama to understand at all. There's no interest there. There's no interest. But that's why every Tuesday morning we gain more interest. Oh, that's so touching to the infinite one, who is as infinitely up close and personal with you more than anything else, not light years away, right? So Yogananda said, to those who think me near, I will be near. God, that hit me the other day. And I went, oh, God. I've been carrying, well, I haven't been, but it's like, I just rub my eyes. There's so many tears lately. And I hope it's the same for you. When you remember when your soul just gives you a nugget, and that all comes from your effort and your sincerity and your will and your receptivity and all that beautiful stuff, which we are all practicing, every day. But when that came into my brain, it was like, I remember that quote, and I said, but these things they're gonna blast open as realities in you one day. They're going to have more and more meaning as time goes on, rather than less and less meaning, which can happen if you're in the human condition, right? More and more love rather than less and less love. not tolerating somebody, but more of all the beautiful things your soul is and seeking. The unborn, beginningless, beyond form and conception. That's what you come here. That's what you come here to give 60 minutes of your life. But you know you're not even claiming those 60 minutes anymore, my dears. You are not even thinking in those terms anymore, my dear. The Spirit has you wrapped up. We're all wrapped up in Divine Mother's bear hug. She's got us all wrapped up now. There's no thoughts like we used to have. Notice that, and blow out of proportion. Really magnify the good in you when you notice it. The struggle, when you're struggling and it's kind of pulling you down, notice it. Know that Divine Mother is the one, as Yogananda said, the shadow of her darkness is the shadow of Divine Mother's arm reaching down to pick you up. So the darkness, the things that your brain shuts down in a bad way kind of thing, and the fear comes over you, and it's just her arm reaching down to pick you up. Isn't that a beautiful idea? So, but right here, right before we go to a verse, there's a thing that they put on each beginning of each chapter, and it says, "O scorcher of foes, Arjuna, limitless are the manifestations of my divine attributes." Spirit, transcendental absolute, is saying, limitless are the manifestations of my divine attributes. My concise declaration is a mere intimation of my proliferating glorious powers, because they continue, things are getting more and more. It's a more and more universe, it's a more and more forever after, happy ever after, more and more of everything beyond our conception. But thanks for even opening your heart to this idea. But this gets me, because I'm looking at all this and I'm saying to myself, I don't really care about the manifestations and all the different things that God is. So many things. I just know that everything at pointing up, all the great ones and all their little hierarchical positions in the divine scheme of things, they all just, if you come to them, they don't have any ego. They just if you think, oh, there, can I hang out with you? And they just go, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. And that's it for me. I just want to, as Einstein said, I don't care about all the stuff that came to me and when I stopped thinking and I just became still and quiet. I don't care about all those formulas, he said, but I do want to get to the mind of the Creator. That's kind of me. If I go to the one and we put first things first, everything else will be added to us. Then we'll know all that stuff. But I ain't going to go think, I don't care about them. Quite frankly, not my thing. Just not my thing. You may. But not when you see what what the list is. I don't think you will either, because it's just you don't need to know it. And then he says it. My concise declaration is a mere intimation of my proliferating glorious powers. And so the transcendental absolute says, but what need hast thou, O Arjuna? He's doing this to appease the Arjuna in us that needs to know every little detail. That's fine. That's cool, right? He takes care of everyone's desire. He fulfills everyone's desire. But what need hast thou, O Arjuna, for the manifold details of this wisdom? See? Understand simply. This is simple. 7 years of learning simplicity is what we've been about. 7 years to learn simplicity. And people run from the Gita like, their pants are on fire, man. When really it's so simple. But what need hast thou, Arjuna, for the manifold details of this wisdom? Understand simply. This is all we need to know. I, the unchanging, everlasting, sustain and permeate the entire cosmos. I, the unchanging and everlasting, sustain and permeate the entire cosmos with but one fragment of my being. Wow. If this isn't a wow, I bow my head. If this isn't a complete, Lord, I'm all yours. I'm all yours. I'm all yours. I'm just all yours. Wow. You know, personal up close, he talks to you, right? We know in that etheric vibration, when we are in tune enough to hear that voice, which is going to be one-on-one with the perfect, you think like you're always looking for the right partner and the right soulmate, but this is light years beyond any of that. He knows us like no one knows him. He's the friend we've always looked for in all our incarnations. He's the lover. Go on, right? And at the same time, we have this incredible awe and wonder. I surrender. It's a good chapter now. I'm just so stoked about this chapter. So that power is that unchanging, everlasting, sustain and permeate entire cosmos, one fragment of my being. That power is personally interested in you, my dear. So don't say nobody loves you or cares for you. That power. Not what you know, who you know. All right, now let's look at that first verse, shall we? And this is the infinite manifestations of the unmanifest spirit. And this section, as you heard before, the unborn and beginningless, beyond form and conception. It's just the way the karmic pattern of my life has been woven over lifetimes. Somehow, to me, someone were to say, did you get what you wanted as in growing up? Are you happy that you became who you became? Or what? Usually when you're younger, someone will say, what do you want when you grow up? What if we said this? My soul was saying this. I thought I was going to be a priest, really, really tiny guy. I knew there was something. I knew there was something that you would say, what do you want to be when you grow up? The unborn and beginningless, beyond form and conception. Okay, next. Right? If you maybe put me into a little cuckoo, one flew over the cuckoo's nest place as a kid. All right. So here it is, verse 1. The blessed Lord said, O mighty armed Arjuna, hear thou more of my supreme utterance. For thy highest good, he's doing it. He's going to personalize whatever is your slightest, tiniest desire that you don't even remember you have, but it's still there. He's going to fulfill it personally for you. Right? Is that beautiful too? For thy highest good, I will speak further to thee, even though I know that others aren't going to be interested in it. But I'm talking to you, Arjuna, like he's going to be talking to you today, Lisa and Jim and Narayan, in a personal way. Jim won't be able to understand how God is talking to Lisa, and Lisa won't be able to understand how God is talking to Jim. So you got to take it, it's a one-on-one with the infinite one. Always and forever. For thy highest good I will speak further to thee, who listeneth joyfully. Now listen, I've told some of you that I did all the 10 streams of the refusal to fight. Now I'm on the chapter 2, which is Krishna's response. And it was not, and it is still not. On chapter 2, verse 4, was Arjuna listening joyfully. He had too much to say about what he didn't like about what was happening, okay? So, but listen to us this morning. Are we listening joyfully? That's not a big thing to ask, is it? To come here joyfully because you are joy and to listen joyfully? What? So that was at verse 1. 2, neither the multitude of angels nor the great sages, no, my uncreated nature. For even the devas and rishis are created beings and hence have an origin in me. See, if you have an origin in something, you're still not the originless. And the Gita is saying your soul and spirit are the originless. All right, but it will all be clear. Number 3, but now here's the big but whoever realizes me to be unborn and beginningless. I just love this personal invite here. Maybe you will too. If nothing else, to inspire you, just to create more awe and wonder in your, because it adds up these vibrations of exactly what it being said here is a reality you're going to experience very soon now. I can feel it. I can feel it, and I'm so happy for you. I will always be so happy for you because this is you. So whoever realizes me to be the unborn and beginningless, let's say we're going to be those ones, right? That's what we want to know about the unborn beginning, as well as the sovereign Lord of creation, because this is another promise coming up. That man or woman has conquered delusion. Go rebels. That man or woman has conquered delusion. And I'm just going to be an awe and wonder about the unborn and beginningless. Why not? It strips your mind out. This is good for the elderly to take their brain to another sphere, right? Oh God, this is turning out to be one of the most important chapters yet, because it's in the now for us. Will conquer delusion and attain the sinless state even while wearing a mortal body. There's the Jivan Mukta, even while in an earth suit. Wow. So now Yogananda's commentary. So for starters, we've got it. It's simple, right? Right? It's simple. That one is totally in you. That one is in every little detail. It is the one that has become the many, and of course this cosmic creation and all that, but it's personal. And all we got to do is just relax and know that we have found pure gold in this life. Our heart's desires will be fulfilled in this. That's all we got to. That's all we got to do. It's so simple. So Yogananda says, stanza 2, the one that says that even the angels and the Rishi Devas don't they're I'll read it. Neither the multitude of angels nor the great sages know my uncreated nature. For even the Devas and Rishis are created beings and hence have an origin in me. So Yogananda first off just wants to explain that verse. Stanza 2 does not mean that liberated angels and rishis do not understand the self-evolved nature of deity. For stanza 3, which is, but whoever realizes me to be unborn and beginningless, as well as sovereign Lord of creation, that man and woman conquers delusion and attains the sinless state even while wearing a mortal body. So there it was. So Yogananda wanted to emphasize that liberated angels and rishis do not. This does not mean that liberated angels and rishis do not understand the self-evolved nature of deity, for stanza 3 expressly states that even a mortal may become a jivan mukta, freed while living. See, I don't know why mortals, I do know, the Maya, yeah. But those of us, those souls who are ready to be open, finally be open to truth, receptive to truth. Isn't it a beautiful thought to be free while living? I mean, you can live, you can just kind of go along and sit on the couch and whatever else and be in your head, but wouldn't you rather be free while living? And by that very realization, so that even a mortal may become free while living, by that very realization, God as both beyond creation and in creation. So you would know God beyond creation and in creation by that very realization of just wanting to be free while living. Simple. Just wanting. I saw Daily Download too, where I was talking about it's one thing, everyone wants something, but it's really kind of that next level when you really want something and when you really want truth, the highest level. These stanzas signify, however, that full emergence in the divine transcendence is not attainable by any created being. Whoa, you heard that and didn't have this prologue here. You'd think, oh, okay, what are we doing here then? If divine transcendence is not attainable by any created being, I'm a created being. You know how everything is just kind of has a duality kind of thing to it because we're in a duality by any created being. He who has origin cannot be originless. Well, you could go look at your chart, your family lineage and all that, but you're still not going to get to the truth. But what's coming up is the divine lineage where we've come from, and you're going to get it in just a one little brush. You don't even care, I don't think, anymore about your human lineage, right? We want to know the originless. God's essential nature is spirit, not form. Infinity, not finiteness. So we're not even about form. No wonder people think we're strange. And we're always thinking our heads in the clouds. What a dreamer. Oh yeah. We're dreaming the dream of truth. Now, here's where it gets interesting. This next word. Don't get spooked. Disembodiment. Disembodiment. What is what? Just check out what comes up as a feeling when you hear that word. Disembodiment. Is it like a scary movie kind of thing called Disembodiment? What does it mean? All right. Disembodiment slash. Here's what it means. The state of unimaginable freedom achieved by the devotee after he and she has dissolved by wisdom. God, would you rather be in heaven with a bunch of fools or in hell with a wise person? And Yogananda said, choose the wise person in hell because they'll make a heaven out of hell. But if you're in heaven with the fools, and that's all there is, you'll never have time to even consider that you're in heaven. Wisdom is everything. Disembodiment, the state of unimaginable freedom achieved by the devotee after she and he has dissolved by wisdom her and his three imprisoning vehicles, physical, astral, and causal. You have the three bodies, is necessary before the soul of man can rejoin spirit per se. So there it is. This is just the yoga teaching. We know that our soul needs to escape the three bodies, right? Uncork the physical, uncork the astral, uncork yourself from the causal body, and boom, that out goes the soul right into spirit. Or originless. Isn't that cool? So I wanted to look up the word disembodiment, though. So I'm going to now just share with you some of these things that I've been just really inspired by. I got a great thing on willpower here. It's a daily download. Divinity. I read you the Babaji thing. This person, these are little ditties that just come through, but I want you just to get a feeling how simple and how God is talking through all of us. This is Steve Jobs. Your time is limited. Of course, this was when he knew that he had a serious thing going on. So don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't compare. Don't look at others. It's spiritual suicide. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. Nice, huh? Okay, let's go back. Well, I already read you a long Facebook one, so I'm going to leave this one. This one was called Breathe believe, and receive. It's all up on that my Facebook page. Have a blast because everything's going up there now. They're reruns, but yeah, right. You remember them? I don't even. Okay. All right, let me go back. This is a beautiful quote from Ananda Moyi Ma, who Master loved very much. Picture of him and her, very close, snuggled. Live with the conviction that God is in closest contact with you. See, that's why if you think of that someone's there and you're not there, it just blows that possibility away. No, no, we got the point though today, right? Live with the conviction that God is in closest contact with you and each of us. And you will gradually realize that there is nothing but God. Simple. Simple. To those who think me near, I am near. What was this that I posted up? These things, everything touches me now. So this is cool. A mistake that makes you humble is better than an achievement that makes you arrogant. Oh, humble warriors, I lower my chin, bow your head. A mistake that makes you humble, could be the worst mistake you made. It could hurt you, it could hurt others. But if you learn to be humble from it, because we can't deal with this creation on our own, obviously, right? We let go of the hand of God. We're going to be probably more in the arrogant state than in humble state. So we want to be that humble warrior, and you'll just be fine, because then you can learn fast from your mistakes, and that is better than a big achievement that is arrogant. Okay? Because I have to see, I go to the thing where this thing is. That's why it's taken. This is from Babaji. No, stay. My dogs are saying, come on, man, finish your stream. Trish is away, so I got to keep them in here or they'll go barking. This is from Babaji. Listen joyfully. If you come to doubt, when you come to doubt, you might say, I don't go to meditation to doubt. You know what I'm saying? I'll give you every reason to doubt. If you come suspicious, I'll give you every reason to be suspicious. But if you come seeking love, I'll show you more love than you've ever known. Right? Is it? Are you as touched as me this morning? I'm sure we are all on the same page. Dear soul rebels. And this is the quote that I told you about. I got to open it up and it goes, your work is a beautiful picture of a Zen monk sitting, and it's just nature all around. He's dead still. He's on a little creek and he's sitting on a rock. Your work is not to drag the world kicking and screaming into a new awareness. Big one for me to learn. I thought I was going to save the world. Master thought he would save the world. He's going to build hospitals and then the Lord, Yogananda, I think there's something else I want you to be. So your work is not to drag the world kicking and screaming into a new awareness. Your job is simply to do your work sacredly, secretly, and silently. And those with eyes to see and ears to hear will respond. Beautiful. Oh, and then I looked up, here's the stuff for the, oh yeah, disembodied. So here's from Wikipedia. The process or state of disembodying a soul, spirit, or consciousness that has been disembodied or which otherwise lacks a physical form. Sounds like yoga to me, man. The process of the state of your soul and spirit and consciousness that just says, I'm not attached, I'm not even thinking of my body, It's that body identified King Duryodhana material lust that we don't want to mess with, right? Which otherwise it could be you could still be embodied, or it lacks a form. But here's the psychology of it. This embodiment is a fascinating and intriguing phenomenon, typically manifesting as a disruption of bodily self-awareness with the little self, disruption, which induces a feeling of self-detachment or depersonalization. We don't, right? How many times you don't take it personal, don't take it. It's taking things personal that it gives us, it's this cause of all our suffering. No, it's good, Clark. That's good, Lisa. Yeah, it's not our world. That's for darn sure. So that's a little info on that. And yeah, here's another divine love support. That was beautiful, another daily download. But this is Yogananda's words: practicing the presence of God whenever your mind wanders in a maze of worldly thoughts patiently. See, there's one time we heard lovingly bring it back. Now we hear patiently lead it back to remembrance of the indwelling Lord. In time, you will find him ever with you. A God who talks with you in your own language. A God whose face peeps at you from every flower and shrub and blade of grass. And you will say, I am free. I'm clothed in the gossamer of spirit. I fly from earth to heaven on wings of light. Wow, in a body. And what joy will consume your being. From Yogananda again, I never call myself a preceptor or a master or a guru. I only know that I killed myself, and I find none else within me but the Heavenly Father. When you kill your ego, you know that's why we have the Gita, because you don't kill Bhishma. You just get yourself into that divine union state, and and all of a sudden that ego, which its job in creation is to take you outward bound, just soars into your soul, as because it's the pseudo soul. It just becomes your soul. So that's how we kill the ego, by keeping our vibes high. But when you kill your ego, you will find the same being within you, the Heavenly Father he was talking about in this case. As all lamps of a city are lighted by one dynamo, so all of us are lighted by God. Nice, right? Okay, so we're almost had a stream. It's almost time's up. When this I shall die, says Bhavananda, then I will know who am I. So let's see where we are. This is page 770. And I read that little part about the disembodiment, right? That's where we are. So when we see each other again next Tuesday, we're going to look at the metaphysical truth that all emancipated beings who accept, now we're talking about, so liberated beings are accepting now, God wants them to come back down into this 3D HD heavy delusion. We're going to accept that re-embodiment. So we're back in a body again at God's command. And we are required, this is an interesting little thing to note. Those who come back like a Yogananda, like a Christ, are required to work in harmony with the cosmic mother or lawful nature to whom the Lord has given full power over the phenomenal world. They come into this delusion. And part of their thing, they don't have a free pass. That delusion is all over them. They have to deal with it. To a certain extent, even such exalted beings have to place themselves nominally under nature's cosmic delusion, thus forego full realization of spirit, which is, and these are two, here are some more of our unborn beginning list: immutable, unborn, and unmanifest. They are obliged to accept Maya or delusion as the only means by which their bodies assume visibility at all. So, just you have a body because there was something about this world that we still had a desire for. That's all. And that anybody that's in a body is here because the delusion. To have a body is to assume is the visible body is because of the delusion. All form is delusion, right? It's a formless, invisible, intangible reality. The beam of light from a motion picture projector produces no images on the screen unless it passes through the shadow forms. Yeah, or all that filming that was done, the shadow films. Similarly, the soul reality has no form without the presence of the variegated vibratory film of Maya, the principle of duality that divides the indivisible and through cosmic vibration projects forms on the screen of time and space, the etheric screen. Manifestation of any form, you and me, everyone, testifies to the operation of nature's Mayic cosmic vibration and thus pertains to creation, not to the uncreated and vibrationless. I know. I'm going to end this verse, these 3 verses, okay? It's just a little writing, and what else is new? If you don't mind just listening joyfully and saying, Babaji, 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 come to me, come to me. Oh, my Babaji, come to me. Oh, my Babaji, come to me. Come to me, oh, come to me. Do that. This stanza therefore gives us an explanation for the sometimes puzzling conduct of the fully illumined masters. During the crucifixion, Jesus became temporarily conscious of cosmic delusion. Perceiving his dream body and feeling its agonies, he cried, oh, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? Other liberated saints also have appeared to undergo physical sufferings or to display sympathetic identification with other people. St. Francis really suffered. Or identification with other people in their troubles and joys. Jesus and other masters wept and behaved in various other ways like mortal beings, but no one should wrongly think that the great sages and prophets are not aware of God's true nature, the name of this tree. GTN, God's true nature. God's true nature. If you just said that today as a mantra, God's true nature, your heart will show you things. It will reveal things to you, right? Those perfect devotees who, even after liberation, wear an earthly body in order to carry on certain activities in the world of phenomena are simply watchful about the ever-present power of cosmic delusion. That's super watchful. They're still, what an example for us. If they come down from a liberated consciousness and have to be in this fog here, and this Maya delusion here, and they are watchful about the ever-present power of delusion, we need to 10 times that, at least. Finally, however, such exalted ones are able, okay, here's why they can do that, dismiss their body dream at will, and thus to perceive the transcendental spirit. All right, but that's where our intuitive imagination comes in. And that God's going to grant you every desire of your heart. And if you love him with all your heart, mind, strength, and soul, he's going to grant all those desires. And if you want to go to that infinite place at will, so be. So it is. And I rest my case. Have a beautiful Babaji day, everybody. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for you. And we're together to get her, that cosmic mother who's throwing out all this Maya. And together we can get her and be in that cosmic womb of her. Thousands of suns and moons from her body do shine. Oh, what lightning flash glimmers in thy face, mother. Seeing thee, we are thrilled through and through. Namaste.